figure out that
There's also another player out of SoCal who people have to be very wary of. A certain Little Mac main back in 4. Who people also have to be very wary of pronouncing his tag on stream.
All right, so getting into game number 1 here, we got Miscellaneous versus Sharpedo going on the PS2. Very straightforward matchup. Both players very successful on this. I don't think I've ever in my life seen a Snake just jump straight at a Palu from one platform to the other, holding a grenade, and nothing happened.
You know what? Truth is stranger than fiction sometimes, honestly. But this matchup, it can be kind of difficult for both characters in a way. I feel like Palu has no problem capitalizing off of Snake's disadvantage, but Snake, just given his plethora of movement options with neutral B, down B, like he can kind of lead a lot of characters into some very precarious situations that they didn't think they were entering, but upon entering are like, oh it's like when Childish Gambino, I think it was Community or some other show, he just enters the room and everything's on fire.
Oh yeah, that was Community. Man, I love Community. Turning out bed in the morning.
I gotta watch more of that show.
You need to watch all of it. But one of the things with this matchup too, in terms of what can work in favor of Snake versus Palu, is that Snake remains grounded. Like Palu wins matchups in where people short hop a lot. When you just short hop nair, force people to take so much damage for trying to approach you, or go for drop down nair since everybody's got good nairs, it's where Palu succeeds. Now, Palu does a good job of anti-airing here. Here's the thing though, when you get in a position like this, what is to stop the Snake from just consistently putting out these traps?
Oh my god,
forced to approach, you don't die from anything besides side B, and you're just holding your ground, like you're not getting caught by a lot. Hard Radical isn't killing you, and like we're seeing right there, like Sharpedo is just trying to find an opening that doesn't really exist, so you're forced to go in, and then you just take so much trade damage that is just working for Miscellaneous so well right now.
Exactly. Snake being as heavy as he is, and just how quickly he can get back to the ground, he is no stranger to like taking a lot of trade damage, and if he's up, like he doesn't mind taking that trade damage at all. The more damage he's putting onto his opponent throughout these consistent bursts, got the C4 attached to him as well. Oh wait, it went back.
I was playing the mind games right now. Good job of holding your shield there. Yeah, this is like Snake more so than even Lucario. You'll see intentionally take damage just because you work out. In all those situations, that drop down back air is going to take that stock as well, catching Sharpedo at the edge. But like Snake benefits from getting all these trades. He's going to kill you sooner than you're going to kill him. These nairs into dash attack. You always gotta watch out for that down air too. And you could see, it looks like Miscellaneous is looking for a fair at the ledge, possibly just looking for one of these early air dodges in, trying to condition it right now. So if you're Sharpedo, you got to be very careful. But is once again catching the dash attack, gonna cover the ledge. Watch out for dropping down, trying to look for maybe an up tilt, and now you're at up tilt.
I think one thing that Sharpedo is struggling with a little bit is staying in once he's in. My man is staying in for the punish for about 2 seconds, then retreating.
Yeah.
Giving Miscellaneous back. Oh, he's in your head. Yeah. Yo, he's in your head.
Oh my living rent free in there right now. That is one. All right, so I agree exactly with what you said. When you get in on Snake, yes, you're going to trade, but you need to get that damage on. You need to stay on them. Like you need to throw hands left and right. This is tri-state. Everybody's got hands ready. Like you have to make sure that Snake doesn't feel comfortable ever. They may have Deer out of shield, which is ridiculous. They may have that up tilt, but if you can force a Snake to not set up and only go for things like neutral B out of like disadvantage, you're gonna get a potential kill situation.
Right.
When you go in and then you run away, Snake is just resetting up camp. So you're giving the Snake player a much better spot. Easier said than done. I always like to point that out, but like it's still, I think I agree. Like a little bit too much retreat kind of was the detriment to Sharpedo in that game one.
Even if the Snake is like constantly doing grenades like out of hit stun and you're laddering him upward, you can keep the ladder going. Like Palu can do up air out of hit stun and just keep it going up on PS2. You want Snake to be sweating as much as possible at all times. And I feel like Sharpedo's just giving Miscellaneous way too much time to get his stuff set up. And he could be pushing these leads so much more. Hey, seen enough. Thank you for the follow, man.
Exactly. Yep, seen enough. Thank you for coming through.
I hope you haven't seen enough of this stream yet, because we still got a lot more matches coming.
You know, I'm glad that you were able to figure out something. I was like, I can't think of a good pun or something to use on that right now, but I know it exists.
It's somewhere out there. You just got to reach for it.
So this is already much better. I mean, obviously, you know, Miscellaneous was able to get away at that point, but short hop back airs, putting out pressure so you can trade with the snake consistently is actually really good. So Sharpedo just trying to find those windows of opportunity. The only thing is that now Miscellaneous kind of caught on to that. So he's staying really grounded, just running along the floor. You don't need to jump up. You don't need to put a grenade out because there's no point in trading with that back air. But it now at least puts it in the mind of Miscellaneous. I have to respect that option now, which could lead to potential grab. Looking for it right there, but gonna get roll red instead.
And I think Sharpedo just has to be more cognizant of when auto reticle can be thrown out and when specials can be thrown out, because it's kind of one of the only ways Snake can really get in on Palu is when Palu is kind of dropping the guard to do a special move. Like aerials don't have too much end lag. Yeah, you can catch Nair if you're like spaced correctly, but Palu isn't really a character that lets you in. My girl does not let you into her temple too easily.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you gotta work for it. You gotta buy dinner and a movie and everything.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that was almost such a ridiculous read right there for that forward smash. Recognizing once again, you know, Sharpedo's been putting out those counters consistently, and for good reason, reflecting away the hit. But either an air dodge in or that counter could have led to that stock. And Miscellaneous once again reading yet another one, just starting to catch on. It's like that's an option that you only use so often. Anti-air up tilt once again. This is starting to really get out of hand for Sharpedo.
I think a large part of this matchup is also just being confident in your punish game once you get in. It seems that Sharpedo's just a little too antsy and doesn't know like when. I feel like Sharpedo's a player who likes to, just based on like the amount of specials being thrown out, is a player who just likes to keep his opponents at a distance, using that auto reticle, and then just getting the chip damage off of that and continuing, forcing the opponent to approach. But when you're playing against a character like Snake was, you know, a bunch of gadgets and gizmos at his disposal to shoot at you, you kind of have to switch up the game plan to become a little bit more confident in your A button moves rather than your B button moves. Yeah,
I know that this statement is never something that gets me likes from the chat ever, but unfortunately, if you're a super defensive player, the only way you're going to beat a Snake is being so committed to that defense to the point where you're willing to play the time. Because, like we're seeing here, Sharpedo has consistently gone for reticles and explosive flames and you know, looking for like counter options like this, but you're just playing into the wheelhouse of Snake. And when you're forced to do that, unless you're committed to getting that early lead, getting that stock, and then just running away from the Snake pretty much for the rest of the match, you're not going to get the W. So you have to find other ways around. And unfortunately, a little bit too high on that jump there, because that back air definitely could have pushed Miscellaneous back off and continued that edge guard.
My man can whiff punish without even moving a muscle. That's just how great Snake is. So I do agree with you that if you are going to play defensively against Snake, you better be sure that you're damn good at it. Because it's going to be, just by nature of how Snake's kit is designed, you really just have to be cognizant that you can get blown up for pretty much any little mistake that you do.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to where credit's due with Miscellaneous as well. Miscellaneous has caught on to a lot of the hacks of Sharpedo. Like Sharpedo, against most matchups, this strategy works. Like just the coverage that Sharpedo has gone for will work. Maybe a little less counters, but like it will work against the majority of matchups. But right here, Miscellaneous is like, okay, I'm just gonna keep holding my ground. I'm gonna keep setting up, and I'm gonna keep making sure. I have never seen a kill and baiting out the landing.
See,
okay.
Look what happened. Like the main drawback of Snake is his disadvantage. He doesn't tend to have the best disadvantage just by nature of Cypher, just how vulnerable he can be at a certain time. He got that kill because he threw him off of stage, removed his main source of control, which was just his ground movement, staying around, and he got the kill for it. But it unfortunately ended up being too little too late, because Miscellaneous had his solid game plan throughout the entire set, just started whiff punishing and just staying a little bit more patient than Sharpedo, catching the counters, catching the landings, and, you know, bye-bye Palu. It's basically what happened.